What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at it today with another episode, number 4 of my MLB 14 The Show Colorado Rockies franchise. This is game number 17 of the season. We're still in the first month, taking on the San Diego Padres at Petco Fields. Let's jump in right where we left off. The last episode was a game against the Chicago White Sox. Game number 2 of that series was against the left-hander John Danks, who came into the game with an ERA of over 40, so he got lit up in his first outing of the season, and things would not change for him. We had 5 different players who would have at least 1 RBI in that game. Michael Kadire would hit a solo home run. The final score would be 7-2. We would improve to 8-1. Jorge De La Rosa goes 6 innings in that game, 8 strikeouts, improving his record to 2-0 on the season. The last game of that series against the White Sox was a game that I live stream on Twitch. Shoutouts to all the guys who came out and watched that a couple weeks ago. The White Sox would go up early in the first inning, 2-0, but Jordan Lyles in both the third and the fourth inning would help his own cause by leading off the third with a triple and eventually scoring, and in the fourth he would bring home a run of his own with his first RBI of the season. The game would be tied up later on at 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Justin Morneau would get a 4-pitch walk, and then Charlie Blackmon would single to get 2 guys on base. Norlin Arenado would come in, and the eventual game-winning RBI double would bring both those guys home. The final score would be 5-3. Our record would improve to 9-1, and we would sweep the Chicago White Sox. After that, we'd have to go on the road, traveling west this time, to take on the San Francisco Giants. In the first game, this was another one that we live streamed. They would jump out to a 4-0 lead, topped off by a 3-run home run by Pablo Sandoval, which was on an 0-2 count with 2 outs in the inning. We were quiet for the first couple innings of the game, not even getting a hit, but in the top of the 4th, Madison Bumgarner had a nightmare of an inning, allowing a series of singles by Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado, Michael Kadire, Willeen Rosario, Justin Morneau, and DJ LeMahieu would get 6 runs across. Every player that I just mentioned would have an RBI. Chassin would get the win because of the big 4th inning. He was only able to make it 5 innings, but he would improve his record to 2-0. LaTroy Hawkins would come and get his 5th save of the season. Our record would improve to 10-1. The next game against the Giants would be a quick counts game. After already leading 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th, the Giants would tack on 3 more as RBI singles from Angel Pagan and Pablo Sandoval. We would score 1 in the 9th, but that pretty much would be it. The final score would be 4-1. Matt Cain, the starting pitcher for that game, was absolutely ridiculous, going 8 1/3 inning, throwing over 140 pitches. You did not hear me wrong. Yes, he threw over 140 pitches. We still couldn't find a way to get a run off him. The one run we did get was after he was pulled out of the game. So game number 3 of that series, another quick counts game. We would jump out to a 3-0 early lead, but in the top of the third, but they would keep it close in the bottom of the 3rd with a 2-run home run by Michael Morse. That would be his first of the season. They'd score 3 runs in the 7th inning, including a solo home run from Gregor Blanco. That would make the score 5-3. The score would be 6-4 with 1 inning to play. We'd managed to get 1 run in the 9th, but we had runners on the corners, and with 2 outs, Cargo comes in and was just not able to do anything with the opportunity, so it would cause us to drop our 2nd game in a row, falling to the Giants 6-5. It'd be also our first series loss. Our record would fall to 10-3 on the season. So here we are now, 4 games set against the Padres. We're watching game number 4. In game number 1, in the bottom of the 6th, we had back-to-back errors that would allow them to get a runner to third base with no outs, and Cameron Maybin would drive that run home, giving the Padres a lead 2-1 after 6 innings played. In the bottom of the 7th, a leadoff double by Chris Denorfia, and then hitting Chase Headley by a pitch would be the start to a very, very bad inning. We gave up a total of 4 runs in that inning, giving them a lead 6-1. That would be the final score of that one. Our record would fall to 10-4. We'd be losing our third game in a row now. In game number 2 against the Padres, we looked to bounce back, but it didn't start off good. Jordan Lyles gives up a solo home run to Yonder Alonso. The Padres are up 1-0 after 1. Through 5, that would still be the same score. It'd be the only hit that Jordan Lyles gave up. And then in the top of the 6th, we'd have a big inning. Troy Tulowitzki would hit a solo shot of his own, number 2 on the season, and that wouldn't be all. Michael Kadire would bomb one to left field, his 3rd home run of the season. Next batter, Willeen Rosario would double, which would result in Eric Stoltz, the Padres starting pitcher, to get pulled after just 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 8 hits, only 2 runs though. Lyles would give one back after being up 2-1. He'd allow them to tie it up, giving up his 2nd hit of the game, his 2nd home run of the game to Seth Smith on a 3-2 count with 2 outs, so the game would be tied up at 2. In the top of the 7th, Corey Dickerson would lead things off with his 4th double of the season. Arenado would bring him home off a single. 2 batters later, we would reclaim the lead 3-2. They'd score one in the 8th off of Rex Brothers, evening it up at 3. It'd be a quiet 9th, so we'd move over to extra innings. And in the top of the 10th, Cargo would lead off, almost hits one out of the park. Instead, it turns into a double, and later on in that inning with 2 outs, Michael Kadire would hit his 2nd home run of the game, giving us a 5-3 lead. Because Hawkins pitched in the 9th, he would get the win. Wilton Lopez would come in and get the save, his 1st save of the season. We'd snap our 3-game losing streak. We'd improve to 11-4 and have another game against the Padres, which would be a quick counts game. Michael Kadire would stay hot, hitting his 5th home run of the season in the 1st inning. We jump out to a 1-0 lead. They come right back in the 1st inning, though, when it was their turn, off a sac fly and tied things up at 1. Pacheco, our backup catcher, would come in the 2nd, lead things off with a double, his 1st hit of the season. Chassin would bunt him over to 3rd, and then with 1 out, Corey Dickerson would bring him home. We'd go up 2-1. The next batter, Nolan Arenado, would hit a double deep to center field, bringing Dickerson home all the way from 1st. It would be Arenado's 5th RBI of the season. Michael Kadire in that game, again, would stay hot, hitting his 4th home run in 2 days. It'd be his 6th of the year, increasing our lead 4-1 in the bottom of the 9th with a 5-3 lead and 2 outs. Chase Headley would hit a triple to trim that lead down 5-4, but LaTroy Hawkins would bounce back, striking out Nick Hundley to end the game. He'd get his 6th save of the season. Chassin goes 6 innings pitched, only allowing 2 runs off of 10 hits, but he improves to 3-0 on the season. And our record would go to 12-4 on the season. So if you've been watching this game now, that's where we are at, and it's been an absolutely crazy game. We come back from a huge deficit, steal a base there to get a guy in scoring position, and with 2 outs, an RBI single straight up the middle, no play at the plate, we're going to grab a 9-8 lead. We wouldn't be able to do anything else in that inning, but coming back down, I believe, 4 or 5 runs at one point, and now being up 9-8, it's time for our bullpen to slam the door on any chance of a Rockies win. Michael Kadire, again, you guys heard what I was talking about previous games. He stays hot again in this game, and now we're going to bring in our 8 and 9 combo, 8th inning, 9th inning combo, Rex Brothers, and hopefully LaTroy Hawkins. Brothers gets a pop out, a strikeout, and then the very next batter on a 2-0 count, he's going to force a hit over to second baseman DJ LeMahieu. Rex Brothers with the scoreless, hitless inning, and we would move over to the 9th inning now. We'd bring in our save man, LaTroy Hawkins, 7 saves on the season, looking to get number 8 with that 1-0 record. Again, had I mentioned that he got that win in extra innings. First out is going to go over there to Justin Morneau. Steps on the bag. We got 1. Next batter is a strikeout. 1 more out to complete this crazy comeback. And it's going to be a ground out to Tulo. He has no problem making that throw to Morneau. And we're going to get the win. We're going to improve now to 13-4. Again, a crazy win there. Make sure you guys subscribe. Click that thumbs up. We'll be back to catch up on some league leaders and stuff soon. I'm out. Peace.